So welcome to Effort Studios today on Tuesday the 19th of May. Now back in 2015, a phrase that was always going round in certain circles was celebrate your life and times, which basically meant to just celebrate who you were at the time, what you were doing, what you did and the times you were faced with. Whatever you were faced with, whether it was good, bad, making the best of the situation. So for the September 2015 album, I came up with making an album called Celebrate Your Life and Times. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the Album a Month mastering and mixing session. A bit of a different one today. So we'd had three sort of fairly pop song based albums the preceding 3 months. You can see all the lives and the videos and the SoundCloud accounts to see those albums. And this album was the first album where I was sort of doing some co-writing and co-production with Mr. Matt Bedford, who's tagged on this video. The first track I'm going to mix was actually recorded on Logic 9. It featured Sean Tobin on drums and Matt on production and synth, myself on guitar, piano and vocals. And it's going to be a fun long track. This is a fun, funky, sexy track, which is inspired by modern times, culture, and just how you'd speak to people. So this is a bit of a chilled first track on the album, Celebrate Your Life and Times, and this is something entitled Are You Down? And it's a fairly self-explanatory song. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, hello, hi Mel, how you doing? So we're mixing and mastering the album from September 2015, which is called Celebrate Your Life and Times. This first track was a production with Matt Bedford, and he sort of inspired the main chorus and the I won't say too much, but apologies for the swearing at the end. This one's entitled Are You Down?
1, 2, 1, 2. Would you like to chill with me? Are you down? And engage in activity. Are you down?
So in answer to your question, Mel, my mastering, basically I come back out of the box and into a thing called an SC4 by Joe Meek, which is a stereo compressor, analog and widening thing. When I say mastering, it's probably the basic terms of mastering. Obviously I'd love to have these albums mastered and mixed properly, or by someone more professionally who knew all the mathematics of all that stuff. But it's not what it's happening really. So it's a bit of a DIY approach. We've got 4 tracks of drums, acoustic guitar, something called a bell glass, thumb stroke bass. So would you like to chill with me? Are you down?
I'm digging for a ride sometime. Are you down? You call yourself on my mind.
This was all recorded at the time. I think I did the piano overdub a few weeks ago. It's very sort of 90s. A very kind of 90s R&B flavour on this first track. Together. So something completely different. The whole thing with the Album of the Month project is always to try different styles, from rock, pop, funk, soul, R&B, rap, anything really. Hopefully Matt or Sean might come on this chat.
Maybe we can break somewhere. Are you down? You're all I ever wanna be.
Again, completely made up as we went along. It's a mid-late now.
We can chill. I just wanna give you
Oh yeah, Landa Nanda's a great thing, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's a great, I think it's like 40 quid or something a month. Nanda's a good, I'd love to get involved with that. I mean, all these albums a month thing, that's why they're going up on SoundCloud, because you don't have to pay for it. You have to just, so I've kind of like got, make an email account and set up a Facebook, a SoundCloud account of the same name. And, yeah, it's all very much done in a DIY way. Sometimes I get lucky with the mastering, sometimes I don't. So back to this track, Are You Down? Maddie B's on the back singing in the BBs in his very early days. Very nice, his R&B. Welcome to the album a month, mastering sessions, mixing sessions, celebrate your life and times. Here comes Matt. Unmistakably Matt Bedford lit there on his vocals. It's the extended album track. The drums are broken down. Yeah, we've done some great stuff, and this was the start of all that. Dear, sorry about the swearing. Yeah, this is the yeah. Not sure if anyone was supposed to hear that bit. But yeah, many a classic session. So Matt's producing 3 of these tracks here. So it's 5 years ago. He's obviously come a long way since starting out doing this stuff, but there's a lot of Matt Bedford inspired collaborations that are going to be on. So I quite like Everything's Finished now, apart from the piano. So there you go. So that was Are You Down, which is recorded in Logic 9. So it's a program that Matt's very familiar with, but I'm not so familiar with. But yeah, I'm going to just top and tail that out and export the track out, which is going to be put up on SoundCloud later. Mel, thanks for watching. If you're still watching, hope you're okay. And yeah, just I think one thing I'm going to try and do when all this is over is try to basically, you know, not get into this state again where I've got so many things that need working on, and you know, and don't do it basically. So I'm going to kind of yeah, get into that, get into a situation where I can kind of I'm just cropping the audio here. Yeah, just work on one album and yeah, not so crazy. Let's have a listen to that back. I'm going to export that out. So it's going to start like this.
Would you like to chill with me?
What a line. Would you like to chill with me? Are you down? That was one of Matt's lines. I'm sure it's a lot of people's lines. Would you like to chill with me? Are you down? So we're gonna export. We want to export that one. It's going to be an AIFF file. Here we are working in Logic 9. Welcome to the Celebrate Your Life and Times mastering session, which is happening here at Effort Studios. Let's see if this is going to work. Just the one section, export and region. And that's the first. So that's the first track. So that's like with Matt Bedford on production and co-writing that, which is a bit of a jam. And then we've got Sean Tobin on drums. So that's called "Are You Down?" And the next song, which is going to be on this record, is a song called "Black and White Floor," which features exactly the same lineup again. Sean Tobin on the drums, Matt Bedford on the production, and myself.
1, 2,
See how
3,
loud this is.
4.
The bass is a little bit loud there.
Take you on my airplane.
Nice clean bass.
If you don't believe me, got my black and white phone. Got my black and white phone. Don't believe me, got my black and white phone. I think I'm really sick of you and what you do. Gotta start something new. I beg of you. Don't believe me. Got my black and white phone. Don't believe me.
That's an Arp Odyssey on there. It's a real Arp Odyssey.
Oh.
It's a very synthy kind of album, funky album. Synth to the floor there, to the fore.
No alcohol. You ready to go?
Hello, Derek Clark. Welcome to the September album.
I love your gypsy love.
I love your gypsy love.
Gypsy love, take me to the sky above. Black and white phone. You don't believe me. Black and white phone. You don't believe me. Black and white phone.
So Sean Tobin. We're going to put this one down. So welcome along if you just joined us. It's Matt Roberts here on Tuesday the 19th of May here in Effort Studios, Studio 1, which is lovely and cool down here because I'm set just a little bit. I'm set certainly at ground level, so it's nice and cool, chilled out in the craziness. It's really become a home from home, this Studio 1 down here. I haven't actually been upstairs to the main, well, to one of the main bits for over a week now, so we've just been down here doing stuff. So it's really become a vibe. Hope you're all doing okay. So this is Black and White Floor, which is song 2 on the Celebrate Your Life in Time. So it's a production by Matt Bedford and Matt Roberts, drums by Sean Tobin, and we'll just turn the click off there. And so the whole thing was done to a click track. There's the click underneath.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So Sean's doing 16.
Here I wanna talk to you. I got it all. Take you on my airplane. I got it all. If you don't believe me, got my black and white phone. My black and white phone. Don't believe me. My black and white phone. I got my black and white phone. I think I'm really sick of you and what you do.
There's like quite a lot of groove-based music on this one.
Gotta start something new. I beg of you.
It's quite a nice mix of funk and an acoustic guitar
Don't
with a
believe me.
synthesizer and acoustic guitar.
Black and white phone. I got my black and white
departure. Matt Bedford, you're here. Feel free to jump on camera. We've just done Are You Down? This Black and White Floor. Your production. You might not remember this. I'm not sure if you do or not.
Don't give me no alcohol. I can tell you where to go.
This is in the very early days when we had Logic 9 on the old MacBook.
Your gypsy love, take it to the sky above. You don't believe me.
You want a lot of BBs on this, Matt?
Got my black and white home.
In the background.
You don't believe me. Black and white home. You don't believe me.
It's an Arp Odyssey.
Black and white home.
There might even be you playing it. I know. You might. It is a blast from the past. You were 17. How old were you? It's exactly this time. Well, about June 2015. How old were you then? So that was.
Talk to you.
That's what were you 18 that year? You were, weren't you? You were 18. Remember your 18th birthday at the White Horse? There we go. So we're in Logic. So yeah, feel free to jump on Matt if you want to. What's the word? Reminisce and join in the chat, or you can just comment. So yeah, that's Black and White Floor, which is track 2 on the Celebrate Your Life and Times, which I'll explain if you've just joined us, was very much a saying at the time. Celebrate Your Life and Times, which was all over this. And I suppose this would have been a time when, there's Matt Bedford, he's going to join the video. So let's approve Matt. Matt Bedford, who was produced and co-wrote some of these tracks off the Celebrate Your Life and Times album. Just adding him in, whether you're watching on...
Hey, mate,
hello, Matt. Yeah, welcome along to the chat.
It's great. Come on, tell me some more stuff you've done.
So, yeah. So I was just sort of telling everybody about the sort of formative days when we, we had the old MacBook Pro from 2007 and a copy of Logic 9, and Matt had been to Bedford College. Of course, all you people watching, very famously, Matt's always every other month. I think he's still displayed.
I don't think it is at the moment, but it probably will be at some point this year if they start doing apprenticeships again. So
yeah, so Matt very much, he's a master of Logic. What's the dog
this is Jem Jems.
What's the dog called?
Jem Jem.
Jeb what?
Jem Jem.
Jeb Jeb. Hello. Welcome to the Effort Studios. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff was influenced by what you were doing at the time. There's the old click track. We never would have had the click if it wasn't for you. And I think you're playing Arp Odyssey on this. I can't remember.
I dread to hear it. 17-year-old inexperienced man.
Oh no, but look. I'm just saying to everybody, look where you've come. I mean, look how far you've come in that time.
Well, you as well, Matt. I mean, you progressed song by song. I mean, what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that was the good thing is that Melanie Krim was on this chat earlier saying how well me and you work together, and we do. When we get together. Yeah, I don't know if she's watching now, but thank you, Mel. But yeah, it's we do sort of have a vibe together, and we get that. You bring out the kind of.
We do need to do it. I messaged you earlier. We need to do a Cod Funk album again, like in the same sort of style.
We do need to do.
Because,
I think there's in November.
So go on.
He's dancing. In November, we actually there's 2 albums going to be this November, and one of them is pretty much stuff that me and you did. So yeah, it's gonna.
Oh, cool, man.
I've got that's an album. I've got to. What I'm gonna do is get the 2007 Mac, because I think there were some things on that Mac that parts that are still on there that aren't on this hard drive. So I need to sort of get them together and.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, what are your memories from the Effort? What were Effort 2 or Effort 1? Sorry? What are your memories from those? What are your memories from 5 years ago?
Well,
in
I
that
mean,
period?
obviously, I saw Effort at like I saw it a bit when it was being moved out, but like I saw the penultimate days of Effort, the original one, didn't I? Like when everything was in there, and
Yeah, you
I saw
did,
the
yeah.
dramatic like getting everything from that flat into the way you are now. It was just I was astounded by that.
Mhm.
That's my biggest memory is how much stuff you could fit into a flat like that. It was just crazy.
And also how I remember your first time on an 808 was
Mate,
was a good memory.
I
as
lost
well.
many virginities in Effort One.
What's
I
that?
lost
Sorry.
many virginities in Effort One. Lindrum, LM1. One of my other memories of Effort is the classic LM1 that's downstairs in Effort 2 now. That being the same tuning for about God knows how many years. Because listening back to your records from like 2010 or whatever, it's just genius. I've still got the samples of the LM1 in that tuning. Oh, it's so funny.
Because we didn't change the tuning. The LM1, if you're just looking on YouTube or Facebook, is the first programmable digital drum machine from 1979,
I use
1980.
it on all of my tracks. I
And
use it on all of his tracks. It's just
yeah,
go-to.
it is. Yeah, it's the go-to.
I think that was a mixture
see how
of live
this
drums
goes.
and LM1, wasn't it?
It was. Okay, that's now edited good, so that's good. I'm getting there with my my knowledge. I bow to your superior logic.
Well, no, it's not. It's not
But,
about. I mean, anybody can spend man hours on a track, but it's about getting the initial cool, inspired idea down.
The initial vibe. I think that's a good point to bring up actually for people watching. It's a combination of capturing initial vibe and man hours on finishing it off.
Yeah, because I mean,
So it's quite
anybody
hard
can
balance.
spend hours and hours fiddling with something, and it can be great. But the initial inspiration's got to be what you know. I mean, that's I spend man hours on tracks I've never even put out, and it doesn't mean if you know what I'm saying.
It's but yeah, I think like if you are watching this and you don't know Matt Bedford, do check out his YouTube channel, his Insta channel, and
if you don't know Matt Roberts,
when's your
sure
new
you do
single
know
out?
Matt Roberts. Do check out his album a month thing that he's doing at the moment. He's resurrected. He's posting all his songs up on SoundCloud in various different formats and under different names, and so check it out. This will be out very soon, won't it?
This album with the Celebrate for Your Life and Times album, it will be
Is that the next thing up?
It'll be out tonight. So yeah, you'll be tagged tonight
nice.
in
Cool.
this, so you'll be able to hear. I mean, it's one of those things that I know we could probably spend more time on some of these tracks and get it really get it really rocking. So we're back on. So this next track, Hollywood, Celebrate Your Life and Times, was track 3. I think this is. I'm not sure if you were on this one, but everything was very much in that style.
Let's see.
It was a real departure. It's a real departure from the last 3 albums. The last 3 albums had been quite countrified and.
To be fair, I'm loving the funk at the moment. Like you brought it back, Matt. I mean, you shy away from it sometimes. Oh, Matt, I recognise that. That's a Pro Tools loop, isn't it?
So we'll go through. We'll have it before we start mixing it down. We'll just turn it down so we can talk. We'll just go through what's on here. So you've got on this.
I recognise that loop.
You've got Pro Tools loop. The bass. Some BBs. We've got a wood block. There you go. So
is it real? Is it audio? Is it?
That's the real one, yeah. That one you'll appreciate this influence. That's very much influence off listening to the demos.
Absolutely, yeah. When MJ was just hitting on glass bottles and stuff. Yeah, it's super cool.
That's it. And you've got a real CP, slightly distorted.
So where in Effort 1, where did you have that? I don't remember the CP being set up. Was it in the keyboard room?
The CP was in the main keyboard.
So you know
the
so
one
much
we
to
had
take in when you walked in there. I never ever spotted it.
Yeah, it was kind of it was sort of the centerpiece, sort of in there. But obviously it's still crazy here, but things are definitely a much more improvement. And I've really sort of come into, as you've probably seen on a lot of these lives, I've come into my own in Studio One, which, as you know, is the place where you here because I've got the rig set up here, got me, you know, everything. This bit I've created here is like the landing on the old studio.
It's
So
funny
that's
because
what
you're
I've
like
obviously
creating
got
little
the-
setup
yeah.
areas within your massive studio. Like you're creating sort of Matt Bedford bedroom setups in different corners of effort, and it's pretty.
Yeah, different kind of things. But down here, I've kind of got, you know, I've got. It's nice to be able to sort of really get, you know, have this time to sort of spend in here because it allows me to sort of get into things and get, you know, we could now run 2 sessions in here happily, you know, downstairs and upstairs and working on 2 separate things. So
Can't wait to
hoping
get
gonna
back
have
and
Mr.
do
Matt
it
Bedford
after
back,
this is
but
all over.
yeah, we're just gonna let me just check the volume of this because I'm basically what I'm doing.
Take me out. Have some fun and see. Celebrate your laughing time. What is yours?
So you're mixing out the box.
What is mine?
So yes, that's a funky. No, we're gonna put that one down. That's called Celebrate
Are you
Life
mixing
and
within
Time. So
Pro
it is.
Tools or are you mixing out the box?
No, I'm taking out because Pro Tools Maxim, I can never totally work it. So I've decided to come out and go into a stereo compressor, a Jomic thing, and then just come back into
Right,
Pro
okay.
Tools. It gives me a nice, I've got it to a good sort of sound.
Right, I'm going to let you crack on now, Matt. I've got to go. Yeah, so we'll
Okay, man,
post
that's
up
fine,
the
but
tracks
Matt,
later and tag
thank
me.
Yeah, thank you
Cool.
for joining
Catch
our
you in a bit.
live, and we'll see you real soon, Matt. So there we go. That was Mr. Matt Bedford who joined our live on Celebrate Your Life and Times. Who was
Come on, let's dance. If you're born, if only you want.
you're watching now. Hello.
It was always fun getting down with all your friends, learning to fly with all your wings. You got to celebrate your life and times. What is yours will soon be mine. I think what is mine will soon be yours. And everybody get on my floor. Come on, if you're born in 81, I know that was so much fun.
It's just good fun to get down with yourself,
In 93,
even if you're making music that doesn't necessarily fit in commercially anywhere.
celebrate.
But this is very much a trance song.
What is yours will soon be
Welcome to the live
mine.
feed, mixing and mastering. Celebrate Your Life and Time.
Everybody get on my floor. If you don't believe me, you so to see, you got to see me.
You flat notes there.
You won't believe me.
We're going to roll with it as it
See
is.
me rock, you got to see me.
Not enough flat notes on records, really.
It's 77. Was the year Bowen went to heaven.
Lord Tamar Bowl in there.
But they're still rocking on. Everybody one day will move to a son of say celebrate your life and
If you're
time.
watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment. Let me know how you're getting on.
Oh, what is mine will soon be yours. Everybody get on my floor. Come on, let's dance. If you can't dance, have a go anyway.
If you can't dance, have a go anyway.
Come on, yeah. Celebrate your life and times.
So on the loop there, I've added another key. Gives that
What is mine will soon be yours. Everybody get on the
So it's pretty much an 80s funk, bit of a Minneapolis vibe going on.
Celebrate your life and times.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's a title track of Celebrate Your Life and Times. Completely and utterly different to the last situation we did last month. You know, the sort of vibes were evolving very much as we were going along. you know, that's the great thing about, or the very privileged thing about having your own studio and your own setup and a paddle of influences and instruments to listen to. You can just basically, you know, play around in any particular place you want to play in, which is what you find a lot with these albums and mumps. You can just enjoy yourself playing in different areas, and which is what we like to do. And we like to, if you are watching, how are you doing? How's your day going? This is the Sprawling Lives that we do here, the mixing and mastering daily at the moment. We're currently in September 2015, which is I guess that's so long ago now. Yeah, it is. So long ago. So long ago. Prince was still alive in September 2015. What do you remember from that time? Do you remember Celebrate Your Life and Times? So this next one is another solo track done in Avid Pro Tools LE8, Effort Studios. Effort, well, I suppose really this is Effort 3. Effort 2 was the one in town in Bedford, and Effort 1, excuse me, was at home at my folks' house, but we always call this Effort 2 and Effort 1 in town. So Hollywood in 1980. So we're going to just put this one down. So this is called Hollywood in 1980. So if anyone that knows me, 1980 is one of my favourite years. So any excuse to sing about 1980s, this would have been a completely solo track. You've got a DMX drum machine. Hello, if you've just joined us, Matt Roberts here for Studio. How's your day going? Got a DMX drum machine, a Moog. I'm thinking this was a Moog Source. Just trying to think back. It would have been a Moog Source guitar. This would have been done in the little cramped upper room, which was the old TV room in Old Effort, and you know that was pretty much where I was working out of, you know, in the middle of a bit like this, but with lots of other things all hoarding in. So this is Hollywood in 1980. Here comes another synth.
Everybody get together.
So very much a 1983 affair.
Come on now, with me. 'Cause this is an emergency.
Synth's got a stand up.
Latency.
It's called
Hollywood
Classic
in
Synth Horn.
1980. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Come on, everybody. Celebrate your life and times. It's a celebration. It's a celebration.
Very
It's
80s
a
feel, this.
celebration. Celebrate your life and times. So pull all your kids into the fire. All that we
The thing with me is I've always loved the 80s, so
is
I've been part of, I was there kind of in the 80s. And when the whole 80s revival, I've been doing music like this for years. It's kind of come back round now.
It's a celebration. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate your life and times. To do what you do.
It's almost like a Matthew Wilder vibe.
In you. 'Cause we are just back. This vocal sound is giving me a heart attack. Yeah. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. It's a
We're on a long walk,
celebration.
right?
Celebrate your life and time.
Just jumped on for a second. If you're jumping on, say hello.
It's a celebration.
We're mastering the L. Is that you? Here we are mastering the
Everybody get together.
Celebrate Your Life in Times album, very much an 80s affair.
Everybody everywhere, run around like you don't care. No drugs, no drinks, just too high. Feel yourself in lava.
Just saying it's got like a Matthew Wilder. Ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Welcome along. You've been watching on my mixing and mastering. This is really making me want to get my Moog Source back out. So I think these are Moog Source presets because I'm not really much of a synth programmer for all my love of synths and synthesizers. This would have been a celebrate your life many times. Celebrate your life many times. That's me manually going doof 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 on the old DMX. Celebrate your life many times. So I guess if this were an album that was had loads of legs on it, that might be one that would come out as a single. Hollywood in 1980, continuing my 1980 fest. Musically, it's probably about 2 years too early in 80s history. So that's Hollywood in 1980. This is going to be on SoundCloud tonight. So let's see what we've got next. So here we go. I just this is a very strange track that was I overdubbed an Oberheim to this just today. If you look back on the timeline, you'll see the video of me overdubbed it. Very over strange track. Hello Phil, how you doing? This is the mixing and mastering of the album A Mumps. We have got so many to do, and this is the one from September 2015, which is was a good. Well, they've all got different creative elements, but at the time, I think, there's always so much going on. You never know what's going to happen, whether you're going to, you need from it. So it's been nice. Okay, it's taken 5 years to come back to some of these things, and been really honest with you. If the lockdown hadn't happened, I might not be doing this stuff. It's a very strange sounding track, this one. So this is the third song that features me mentioning Celebrate Your Life in Times, and this featured a new drum machine that I'd bought in 2015 from Cambridge PMT, something called an Akai Wolf, which if you listen to it, the dum 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 dum, that's something I'd programmed on the Akai Wolf. So that's just when I took it out, but a bit of a throwaway track, this one, in all honesty, but I still got a bit of a soft spot for it. So this one's called Let's Get Together. Yeah, it's fun and games. And that's it's worth resurrecting because it's still sort of, probably get, before we just put that down, and probably pull the whole thing down a little bit. If you are just joining us, it's the mixing and mastering of the album A Month. We've got one of these in mixing terms. We've got one of these annoying vocals that it's got some bits that go up and down on it, so you kind of have to almost ride the mixer. But I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to sort of make a mix choice and hope for the best. If you are just joining us, how are you all doing? It's Matt Roberts here, Effort Studios, mixings. Let's Get Together. A song from an album called Celebrate Your Life in Times. So I've got the vocals up a little bit. This is more of a track. It's like a one-note refrain. We got to get together now. We got to get together now. Well, I was thinking these kind of throwaway tracks are just as valid as classics. We just had the bridge for the next song, you know. I mean, I know how this track came about. I would have programmed this Ackeye Wolf thing. And to be honest, until the other day, there wasn't anything on this track apart from the Ackeye Wolf and two vocals. And I had there's the vocals gone a bit loud now.
We got to get together now, yeah.
Brought it down a little bit.
We got to get together.
Ride the Vega line mix now. So we overdubbed a CP to this, CP80 piano, and then we lost the audio file for that. So today we've just whacked on an over Haim OVSX. I've pulled out the bass line now. What scanning problems here?
You know, in a Hollywood movie, we got everybody to do this. We got to get together.
So if you don't say I've been just making up some going along, I just gobbledygook, just to fill in the bars. So this is possibly the weakest track on the album, but I'm sure someone somewhere at some time will.
We got to get together now. I'll just do this.
There you go. So that's Let's Get Together from September 2015. I'll put that out into the folder. This is all going to be up on SoundCloud tonight, as all the albums are. You can find them all up there, made up as we went along, various styles. How are you all doing? Who's watching? Are you all good? This is the album a month. We are on September 2015. Kind of quite a soulful, funky 80s throwback album here going on. I love the style, but it's not my favorite style. It's not my natural style, but I do like this style, and I do, you know, every once in a while I like to go for this sort of scenario and style. Mesmerization. So this has got, I think it's got a DX. It's got a DMX. There's a bit more of a production on this one. So a guitar spinning in the vocal track.
Such a long time. Such a long time. You've been around. Now it's the right time.
Right up front vocal.
The right time.
And a bit of Pro Tools echo, so we're going to put that down. A bit of a strange mix on this one. Mesmerization, of course, is when you're just enraptured and mesmerized by someone or anything. You're just in absolute mesmerization, and you're stuck in a moment you can't get out of. Yeah, let's put this on. Watching the live feed. DMX drum machine, made by Tom Oberheim.
Such a long time. Such a long time. You've been around. Now it's the right time. The right time. In this town. Mesmerization.
Synth there.
To get things
mesmerization to get things off the ground.
Mesmerization. Going underground.
This is a different sounding track.
Such a lonely time. Such a lonely time. Since I could call you a friend. All the rats and walls, all these made up songs, go on to the end. Mesmerization to get things out the ground. Mesmerization.
Oh yeah.
I'm coming back around. And this time,
Use the Moog Source here again.
true.
Great synth.
And this time, I'm really
More of a song on this song now, on Mesmerization.
This time,
It's a song that can be played on the acoustic guitar in fact it is. Just with the drum machine and synth element to it.
it's such a long, long time. Such a long, long time.
On to the mixing and mastering of the album a month. This is the September.
Such a brilliant night.
September 2015 album.
Such a brilliant night. And now it's through. Mesmerization. To get things out the ground.
Like that. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Mesmerization. I'm going underground. I'm going underground.
Yeah, the Moog Source.
Going underground.
The Moog Source, guys, is the Moog Source still going on. Still got the Moog Source. See the audio here. It's there we go. That was the mighty Moog Source on that track entitled Mesmerization, which is from an album that didn't come out in September 2015. Hope you're all doing okay. My name is Matt Roberts, here locked down at Effort Studios in a secret location in Bedford, UK, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, which is just where we like it. And we're mixing albums a month. I'm a very prolific person. I just can't always have to do something. I have to make a song every day. If it's a good song, bad song, indifferent song, whatever song, I just have to do something every day. So a lot of these albums, some of them were truly inspired, some of them were semi-forced, but we always had some great things going on. So The Upper, another song that's going on. Yeah, you know, if I'm being fair, this album, it's a vibe, but it's got a bit of filler on, which is, I think you've got to be your own critic, but I would never discount anything I did, because it's all part of a journey. You know, you can't, you know, you write 20 songs and you have to fiddle around with 19 to get that one really good song, you know. So it's one of those sort of situations, and you have to sort of get it off your chest, have an experiment. You never know when you're going to do something, get something cool down. And again, more of a song vibe going on here. We just pull the whole thing down a tiny bit. How are you all doing? My name is Matt Roberts, here in Studio One, Effort Studios, a secret location near here, in the middle of nowhere. It's utterly crazy, but that's just how we like it. This is basically a guitar, a Moog Source.
I'd go anywhere for you, anywhere you wanna go.
I'm in my favourite key, not of D, so I kind of go, I'd go anywhere for you. And then at some point I sometimes bring it down to, I'd go anywhere for you, anywhere you want to go. So this is called the upper. So this is probably, I like that. The Moog, it's very much a Moog Source album. You can tell that I picked up a Moog Source, and that was the Symphony album.
I'd go anywhere for you, anywhere you wanna go. I'd climb any stair for you, never gonna let you know. I'd even go back to the sun when you broke my heart. I'd go anywhere for you, anywhere you wanna go.
Yeah, I like the vibe of this song. After this mix session, I think I'm going to go upstairs and get my Moog Source out. I really like it. Yeah, I just got enough just the mixing and mastering of Celebrate Your Life in Time, September 2015. So I'm talking about a place called The Upper. DMX drum machine.
Oh, I said the place I go. The place I go. I walk anywhere for you, anywhere you wanna go. I climb any mountain, sea, baby, even if it snows. I can't tell you where I'm going with this.
How are you all doing out there in lockdown land? Again, you could perform this song just on an acoustic guitar. Quite a straightforward pop song.
I can't get up on you. You're a trip. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. La-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Yeah, there's something about that one I like. I'd go anywhere for you, anywhere you want to go. I'd fly any town for you. Yeah, so it's definitely got a vibe. Who's watching the live feed? How are you doing out there in lockdown land? I hope you're okay. Boom, 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 boom. All about the Moog Source. These are all presets off the Moog Source. There wasn't any programming because it's not a synth that's got dials and switches on. You have to go into the menu to program it. But yeah, that's got a definite angle. I'll put that onto the export it out into our folder. Let's see, almost coming to the end of the album now. The upper Wild. So here we go. This is, I think this is an acoustic track done on Logic. Well, let's have a look. I know one of the last two tracks of this is very much Man and his guitar. Oh no, this is more of a, this is a Matt Bedford production, I'm sure. We had Matt on the chat earlier.
1, 2,
Let's see what's happening.
3, 4.
Yeah, we got Sean Tobin on drums again.
Just keep it straight. Don't hesitate. Well, just chill out. You make me want to do a lot of things. Let's get wild. Come on, baby, get wild.
Little CP80 on here.
You know, you go get wild. Hey, I got an idea. Let's work on a track. Wanna come and see efforts in my crowded flat. I can find a space just for me and you.
Fender Jack.
Get wild, and blind bring us all wild.
Oh, the sound of the old Effort kit.
Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get so wild. Yeah. Let me see you get on your knees. I'll get on mine. Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get so wild. I don't care if I'm faking. You make me smile. Let me see you get wild. You make me. Oh, come on, baby, you don't get wild. Come on, baby, girl, get down.
So yeah, hi David Jarman, how you doing? We're working on the album from September 2015, and it's entitled. You joined us at the end. This one's Wild.
1, 2,
Sean Tobin.
3, 4.
I'm doing okay today, David Jarman, long-time supporter of Effort Studios.
Just keep it straight. Don't hesitate.
Hello El, how you doing? Welcome back. You good?
Well, just chill
What was
out.
today's life is? Loving your work.
You make me
So it's about the time I met you that you were doing all these albums.
just get wild.
So we've had an interesting live feed. Not my favourite album, the old September 2015 album, but got some good moments.
Wild.
Yeah, it's got a bit. Are you doing good?
You know, you don't get wild.
Hope you're enjoying the sunshine. Had a good walk. I've been on a good walk today.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's work on a track. Wanna come and see efforts in my crowded flat. I can find a space just for me and you.
So is everybody doing good? Hope you're working on music,
Got
Al.
another song.
Hope you're okay,
This
David
is what
Jarman.
we do. Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get wild.
missing two. I'm okay, yeah. Still trucking on with my album a month things.
Let me see you get wild. Tomorrow is another day.
It's a bit late.
Maybe you can say hello, hello, hello. Every little thing it does, every little thing I was.
Like classic standards, drums, bass, CP.
Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get so wild.
Done on Logic 9 this one.
On your knees, I'll get on mine. Let me see you get wild. Let me see you get so wild. I don't care if I'm faking. Make me smile. Let me see you get wild and make this.
How are you doing, David Jarvis? Are you still watching? If you're watching on YouTube, like and comment, share the video.
Come on, baby, girl, get it down.
Nice sustaining CP there. Nice little track. Yeah, it's never going to totally set the world alight, but it's got a vibe. And I think that's what we're looking for sometimes with these album a month things. We're just looking for something we can get our ideas out and get the vibes going. And you know, it's a real interesting rediscovery for me to go over all these albums and finally put them out, because yeah, you know, well, like I say, without the lockdown and all this crazy situation we're in, it might not have happened. So yeah, it's sort of trying to get something out of the thing, but I'm going to be glad when they're all up and, you know, I can just put it to bed then and get on with making new music and reference any old album that I wanted to reference. It's always a good thing to do. Yeah, so we're coming up to the last track. I'm going to be broadcasting live from here tonight with an actual bit of a gig. And then we're going to go back and export that out of Logic. This is Logic 9 we've got here on this. Region as audio file. We don't want to go to bounces, we want to go to the folder I've got set up in the Celebrate Your Life in Time as master mixes, and it's bouncing out. We've just got one more song on this album, which is this one, Work It Out. It doesn't really fit in on the rest of the album. I was playing them back last night, but it's got its own sort of area. I guess it's always you know, on every album I have to sort of return to my core roots of man and his guitar making a song, or man and his piano, and this one is very much that kind of, you know, scenario. It's
self-love is not always fancy. You see,
self-love is not always vanity.
my love, she often left me, but now I'm free. We can work it out.
So it doesn't really, it's a sort of a longing song. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of the album, but
We can.
I'll put it down. It was always scheduled to be on this album. So this is the last track on the Celebrate Your Life in Time. It's called Work It Out. It's sort of like this. It's wound down to a bit of a fizzle, but I think once you put an album together and you put it up, then it has its own legs. So we're going to see
Self-love.
self-love.
It's not always vanity. You see, my love, she often left me, Now I'm free. We can work it out.
So it's been very much a solo performance. Man and his guitar, so I'm prepared for this one.
Work it out. Your time is not always my time. Now I know, where does the time go?
Oh, hello, Andrew Roachford. How are you doing?
The
Legendary man,
season,
Matt Roberts here on the old
they will
album a
come
month
and
mixing and
go.
mastering sessions here at Effort Studios. Have you still got your
They will
Wurlitzer?
come and go.
That's what we want to know. Your Wurlitzer EP 200A. I once saw you do a whole gig with. Very inspiring back in the day. In the day when all the reeds in those things were getting bits of solder in and always a bit of a pain. Before everyone was using Nords, you were out there with your Wurlitzer. So anyways, this is the last song. The last song on the September 2015 album, which is called Celebrate Your Life and Times. So we finally mixed and mastered it, and we're going to be putting it up on SoundCloud a bit later. And
We can work it out. We can work it out.
so yeah, thank you for tuning in today. We'll be on October 2015 album a month session tomorrow. So yeah, do join in on that one. And yeah, I hope you're well. We're going to just send that one out. So yeah, it's important to remember the album a month, all different styles, different vibes, exploring all the different influences I have, and yeah, that's what we do. So thank you for watching this, whether you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube. Give us a like or a share, and then tune in again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Peace and love from Effort. See you soon.